Let's go through the polls, where Oklahoma landed, what it means for their college football playoff aspirations, and more coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, the Oklahoma Sooners moved up to number 8 in both the AP Top 25 and the coaches poll after this week. They jumped the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That's big.
I mean, it's kind of expected, right? When you see the AP poll itself, why wouldn't you jump them if you beat the number 4 team in the country at the time? Mm-hmm. You know, they were up there because they beat Georgia, so of course they were always going to be a spot ahead of them, but you knock off the number 4 team on the road too. That's the thing to keep in mind. You know, coaches poll, similar situation. Bama is still, number 10, so they're right there with Oklahoma. So as long as the Sooners do what they need to do to win out and finish, luckily they'll get another top 25 team to play in Missouri. They have a really good chance of doing something special. Look, Oklahoma is tied with Alabama right now for the most top 25 wins this season. Now, Bama did all of theirs in a row, 4 weeks in a row. Oklahoma mixed it up a little bit from, Michigan to Auburn at the time, to Tennessee, and now Bama. You got 4. And like I said, Missouri comes up this weekend, gives you 5. You beat Missouri this weekend, you are going to the playoffs 9-3 or 10-2, because your resume, they will give you the benefit of the doubt on that, because somebody else is going to lose up there.
Yeah, there's still a lot of football to be played, and a lot can happen. For Oklahoma, to me, don't rely on the good graces of the committee. Go take care of business against Missouri. Go take care of business against LSU. You're at home. Those are opportunities for you to make statements to close out the season and really punch your ticket. You're a better team than both of those teams. Even though your offense isn't great, the Missouri offense isn't great right now. The LSU offense isn't great right now. I know Missouri just put up 49 points on Mississippi State, but come on, let's be for real. Mississippi State, they get scored on by everybody. So literally, I'm not going to sit there and throw a bunch of flowers at Mizzou just because they were able to score 49 on Mississippi State. No, I'm not doing it. But these are both winnable games for Oklahoma, and they got to go win them. You're going to be the favorite. You're going to be the higher ranked team. Yep. You just got to go take care of business. Okay, hard to kill. Love the catchphrase. Love the slogan. But when you also have the opportunity to fully take out your opponent, you've got to do that.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity to do it right now.
This is the game to once again prove yourself, as everybody expects you to prove yourself like every single week. But I digress. If you go out there, say you beat Missouri, you're going to make the playoffs. That's 5th ranked team, 5th ranked win. And I mean, some may try to take whatever situation is going on with them as a consideration, but 9 wins going into the final game of the season, which could be your 10th win. Heck, I remember at the beginning of the year, we was wondering if going in against the LSU game was a potential play-in game to the playoffs anyway. If we thought LSU was going to be the top team in the conference. Mm-hmm. They should have been. They've got the build for it, but they didn't play like it. I mean, Texas coming off number 1 status, in the country to start the year, and now they're where they're at. So with that being said, all Oklahoma has to do, you close that out, you're good. I mean, every time I look at this, John, I'm looking at, you're going to have Tech going to have to play in the conference championship game. They don't really have anybody down the line to really concern them. Same thing with BYU, so they're going. It's going to be Ohio State playing against Indiana in the Big Ten championship game, most likely. The bigger question is would either one of them drop based upon a blowout? If everybody wins out, Bama's going to play Texas A&M for the SEC championship game. And if Bama pulls the upset, that kind of moves everybody up again. Mm-hmm. So there is so many scenarios that could lead to potentially Oklahoma maintaining its spot. Again, they just got to keep winning.
Yeah. And listen, this is a team that is fighting. They're fighting for their playoff lives. They've had their back against the wall since the loss to Ole Miss. And really, you could say they've had their back against the wall since the loss to Texas. And I truly believe that if they played against Ole Miss on a dry football field, that game looks a little bit differently. And this team might only have one loss on the season.
Yeah, you
can't what if it. The game played, Ole Miss won. They were the better team that day. That's
we had
fine.
like 4 dudes wide open at the end of that game, too. I'm still pretty ticked off about that. So we're gonna go ahead and pretend like that didn't happen.
It's fine. But you might not have even been in that situation had you not have to play on a wet field the first half.
Touché.
I digress. But you're in position to do everything you want to do. You're in position to make the playoff, contend for the national title. That's where you want to be. We talked about it before the season. You wanted to be in November in the conversation to make the college football playoff, and you're in the conversation. We talked about getting to November with 2 or fewer losses, and you'd have an opportunity. You're halfway through your November schedule now, and it doesn't look nearly as daunting as it did when the season started.
Man, that sounds so familiar. I could have sworn somebody mentioned that this schedule was not going to be as tough as people thought it was going to be. But hey, I'm just, that person is crazy. Because everyone said that this gauntlet was going to just devour Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When it appears that this gauntlet couldn't handle
Oklahoma. They could not.
Just saying.
We're saying. Because, that LSU team, we didn't think it was going to be necessarily as well. I did. I actually thought they were going to be pretty good. I thought they were going to be better than what they are. Missouri, I didn't think it was going to be as good as what they were last year. Alabama, let's see. I'm trying to think preseason if I felt like they were going to be good. I wasn't sure that they were going to be as good as they were last year.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, same. Now, it all comes down to this. Oklahoma won 2 really tough games. And I want to share this stat from Michael Houck, the communications director and associate athletic director for Oklahoma. Only 4 teams since at least 1980 have won at Alabama and at Tennessee in the same season. So you have Oklahoma in 2025, LSU in 2011, Auburn in 2004, and LSU in 1988. That's it. That's an incredible feat that Oklahoma's pulled off. Now they've got to carry it out through the rest of the regular season, because if you don't take care of business against Missouri or LSU, it won't matter.
It don't matter. Yeah, you have to make sure that you handle business so that this stat has value.
Yep.
But again, you got to go out there. You got to do what you need to do.
Let's go.
Just win, baby.
The Sooners have like roughly a 50% chance of making the college football playoff now, according to ESPN Football Power Index.
Which is still bananas to me. 50%?
50%. Okay. Well, you go win this week, and that's probably going to jump up. But I think they're
that's a 90% at that point. It should be, because we're not going to play in the SEC championship game. We are 100% eliminated.
Like, according to the All-State playoff predictor, it's like if you win both your games, it's like 97%.
What? Like, who's going to jump us?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if they're leaving in maybe some possibility of BYU beating Tech in the Big 12 title game, and the Big 12 maybe getting 2 teams in, or the ACC somehow getting 2. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. If Oklahoma wins out, they're in the playoff. I'm sorry.
Yes,
sorry, BYU. Sorry,
like,
Utah.
There's nothing you
sorry,
can
Virginia.
argue.
Sorry, Georgia Tech.
That's so crazy.
Sorry,
that
Miami.
We're 49. Like, you just... Is it?
Now, we jumped up from like 22% last week.
I mean, fair, I guess. I guess they got to calculate in. I mean, we're a 64% chance winner against Missouri right now and a 70% against LSU. Like, it's gone up against LSU because LSU still doesn't know what they're doing at quarterback.
I'm assuming it's going to be Michael Van Buren.
Oh, it has to be. I don't even think Nussmeier. I think Nussmeier's done. There ain't no reason to even.
Yeah, Garrett Nussmeier is probably unofficially done for the season.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's no reason to play him. It's a great opportunity to get a look at Michael Van Buren for the rest of the year, see what you got in him, and hope that you can figure out a way to retain him for next year. Because I think he's a quarterback with a lot of potential. And you've got to figure out what your quarterback situation is going to look like after Garrett Nussmeier. And if it's Michael Van Buren, you've got that answer. If it's not, LSU is going to be portal shopping. So,
yeah.
All right. Final thoughts. Anything else to say about anything from the weekend?
Bryant Denny was great to be at. Shout out to Sooner Nation for showing up. Y'all were everywhere, and it was awesome. Every time I turned around, I heard Boomer. Y'all actually showed up.
Oklahoma travels, man. We have been an impressive traveling fan base this year. So excited for the fans to get rewarded with a couple more home games and potentially getting to host a playoff game. That's something we're going to have to talk about when the college football playoff rankings come out, because Oklahoma is in prime position to get that done. And that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, for more college football and Oklahoma Sooners coverage. Follow me at John 9 Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. And thanks again for making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network in the industry. And until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer
Sooner.